Shalom, 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 shalom. How's everybody doing? Right now, I say I'm talking to nobody, but at the same time, for you all that may come across the recording, how's everybody doing? My wife just walked in. Hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, she just gave me the hi. That being said, shalom. How you guys doing? That being said, welcome to the Pure Heart Podcast. Yehukanan Ben Yah, one of the elders at the Chasers of the Way, which is the site that we are streaming from through StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. Shout out to my Moray, our lead Moray, my brother Eugene Copeland, and my fellow laborer in the Christ, my big brother, the big homie Giat, Sukabi Backabees. That being said, man, I'm just excited to be before you all. Briefly, I had some thoughts. There's a few things that I'm going to be coming to you all about, and I'm going to start the stream and talk about these things on a regular basis, because as the Most High give it to me, I'm going to go ahead and do some thoughts on these things. And so, that being said, this is not in the sense where we talk about like a profound lesson or profound teaching. I'm not coming with stunning revelation or anything like that, as much as just to kind of talk to you all from a standpoint of the scriptures, and my understanding of the scriptures and what those things say, as the Most High compel me to deal with these matters. So that being said, looking forward to breaking down a few things with you all. That being said, again, there's been some traction, recent traction with this whole Greek thing, this whole Divine Nine thing, and I've had some background, some experience in that, and just kind of felt as if, this one of those things that maybe I can speak on, maybe not the typical way, but speak on it from a standpoint of trying to bring definite edification to you all, especially those that are in that that mindset of Greek life. And I get it. That was once myself, and so I don't come with a spirit of condemnation, but I do try my best, in a sense, to come with brotherly love from that standpoint, as we say that these organizations all stand for. We'll see as we get a little further into this. So that's my mindset, or that's the vein I'm in. So if you're logging on to find out, am I going to spill all the secrets of the Greek life and all that? There's other people that have already done that. That's not my vein. I don't want to push people towards trying to just be nosy and find out what they're about. If you got questions, I'd be more than glad to tell you, but I don't want to waste my time doing all of that. Really what I want to talk about is why, or the reason behind it, and to kind of get into it, because it is, for lack of a better term, the word in Hosea says that my people, they perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge. And so because we perish because of lack of knowledge, and the biggest thing that we perish for lack of knowledge is understanding who the Father is and who the Father is to us. So I'm going to go ahead and cue my music. Shout out to my Moray, keeps me strapped with this. I can't remember the other one that he gave us a few days ago when we did some shout outs. So I can't use that one, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Old Faithful. Settle me in, to get me in my vibe, to get me in my zone, comfort zone, as far as to talk and teach this. So with that being said, let's talk about this. On a side note, let me shout a couple things out. Let me deal with a couple things, a couple side pieces as we get into this. In a private group that I'm in, dudes that I play like fantasy football with and stuff like that, one of my brothers, man, he had posted a video, and I think I might actually do a pod on that one. And what it was is that somebody from the alphabet community making a transition. I'm trying to be crafty with my words. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody was making a transition. I'll just put it like that. And that person that was making a transition, because of the turmoil and the confusion that that individual was dealing with, unalive their mother and their mother's boyfriend. Now, the mother's boyfriend was significantly younger than the mother, so I think he was just wrong place, wrong time. But as the police began to investigate the matter, it was crazy. It was crazy because what happened was, oh, she said that a black guy broke into the home. I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I get it. It's just easy to blame us because we're easy targets. My skin color alone makes me a target. Now, I ain't on here to talk race and all that other stuff, but can't help but deal with it. It's a reality, right? And the first thing this person does is she says, it is easy, like low-hanging fruit. And a black guy broke in the house and unalived my mother and her boyfriend. And I was scared for my life. Like the heck, man. Yo, if you're going to do that work, man, stand on your own too. The cops that were investigating it, and shout out to the cops that investigated it that didn't go for the folly, because let's be real. The cops be on some nonsense when it comes to us. But this time they wasn't. They was like, yo, that's too easy, that's too convenient. They investigated the matter. Couldn't find out that the person that's making the transition is the one that is did the crime, or is under investigation, or has allegedly did the crime. We'll say allegedly just in case it has not been fully prosecuted. And the reason why I'm going this way, talking about this, is because, and this is what I want to probably do. I have a screenshot of the video, and I'm going to go back and look at more of the video. And I want to play it for you when we do a reaction to it. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's amazing how definitions of words change over time. Where now those that would cry for you to be tolerant have become intolerant. Let me say that again. Those that would cry for you to become tolerant have become intolerant. And so the definition of tolerant has been grossly skewed. But then after that, they just become intolerant, where you can unalive somebody because they refuse to agree with your choice. And I don't care what anybody says, it is a choice. So that's probably a talk or a podcast that's coming to you soon. I'm trying to search it because I want always to be able to use anything that I talk about to point back to or guide or lead us back to the Most High. And it was just a thought that came to me. I haven't really fully fleshed it out or developed it. And so that's why I'm not of a mind to talk about it in depthly now, but I think it's coming soon. That being said, another couple of things that came across my way in my mind today. I want to shout out a couple. Listen, we be giving the camps, sometimes we get the camps the blues. And rightfully so, some of the brothers be on some other stuff, man. But I gotta shout these brothers out, man, because I see these brothers, man, moving in their correct spirit. I gotta shout out 2 camps that I saw. I ain't saying I agree with everything that camp's saying. I'm sure brothers from the camps, they don't agree with everything I say. We've had dialogue. But at the same time, man, when a brother is doing right, man, when they moving right, man, they moving in that good vein, man, you gotta shout them out, man. So I'm gonna shout out the brothers from SOT again. Come across their videos. I love the edification they bring. And they, in dealing with who they were dealing with, but in them dealing with a person this past week, again, not allowing that individual to draw them out of character, not allowing the individual to draw them into anger, but continue to bring forth the edification, to teach the lesson as in the spirit or the character of the Most High. And I respect that because we've gotten so immersed in culture and history. Shout out to our mother. I'm talking about those that's connected to me at Chase's. Our mother, Jarena. She's not longer with us. But one thing that when we came into the truth was we went through all the emotions, and let's say quote unquote truth. We went through all the emotions and anger and everything else because we found out we was being lied to. But one thing about her is she will always keep us with the mindset of keeping the main thing. And the thing that she said to us is, I get all this culture, I get all this history, but she said, can we get back to the spirit? And I love my mom for that, because she kept us grounded. Like, no matter how much history we learn, no matter we learn the Greek of this or the Hebrew of that, no matter how many revelations we come across, she said, keep it to the spirit, the character of the most high, the rect of the most high. As my brother Suka have taught her, and I've taught a while ago, the character of the most high. When you talk about the likeness and the image, we're not talking about physical hands and toes and feet, face, eyes, and nose, and all that stuff. We're talking about his character, that part of him that is long of mercy, that part of him that is long suffering, that part of him that is gentleness, meekness, and joy. We're talking about the character of the Most High, that love, that peaceful nature that he do have. Now, I get he's the God of wrath, and I'm not denying that. But what he wants to show, or what he desires to show, and what he's constantly shown through the whole of Scripture, is there's an excellent nature about him, that even when we're wrong, he is still gracious and merciful. And that's what Christ came and showed us. And so when I see the brothers, SOT, I see them representing differently on the street. Because the first thing that people see when they see brothers on the street, they see us on the street, first thing they think, oh, you're Israelite, or they call us Black Hebrew Israelite, and that's so offensive. That's so offensive, because they don't call the small caps, the J-ish people, they don't call them WHI or white Hebrew Israelites, but with us, they call us Black Hebrew Israelites. Nah, we just Israelites. If you want to call us Hebrew Israelites, that's fine. But we're just Israelites. That's our ethnicity. There's no such thing as black on the map. There's no such thing as black as a nation. No, that was a political construct. I'm not even going to that. But one thing I will say about the brothers is they're not fitting the normal description of us. Because when the moment you say you're Israelite and you look like me, the first thing they think, you're aggressive and you yell at people. And you got to disarm people right away because they can't hear you. The word says, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. We don't know who is going to cleave to us. The word says in Isaiah 14 that many nations shall cleave, that people will cleave unto us. You see this during the time of Solomon. People was cleaving unto us. It wasn't cleaving unto us because we were forcing them to. They were cleaving unto us because of the wisdom and the power of the Most High that we showed in our life. So when I see the brothers turning over a different, or trying to portray a different moniker, a different image in the street, I got to respect that, because a lot of brothers, man, I'm not even going to mention their names because I ain't one for clout chasing, but I mean, if you want to say, am I talking about you? If you operate in this vein, I'm talking about you. But the moment that you show some kindness, or you move in the spirit of meekness, or you move in the spirit of gentleness, which is all characteristics of the Most High, the first thing they want to call you is soft, cupcake and stuff. Listen, I ain't no bully. I ain't no bully. I ain't the biggest, baddest wolf on the block. But I promise you, a lot of people that be talking so reckless behind the keyboard, they won't say half the stuff they would say to my face. I know that. I know this. You will have a different vibe. You will have a different, and that's cool. I get it, because you saved. And that's fine. But I'm gonna say this. A lot of you that move like that ain't moving in the spirit of the Most High. So if you get mad at what I said, yeah, I'm talking about you, because that's the vein, that's the spirit of what you move in. But shout out to SOT, man. Also, shout out to Believers of the Way, man. I saw the young brother Rockazon out in Cali, man. And he approached a dude named Juan, man. So go check out his most recent video. He was on the street. He approached a dude named Juan. And then him approaching the dude named Juan, Juan didn't agree with his doctrine. But instead of having the mindset to go cutting and just beat him up with the word, he ministered to that man effectively, because the man was under the mindset of, we don't have to keep the law. I'm not under the law, etc. And so I respect the way that Ratazan moved, because within about 10, 15 minutes of talking to that man and gently walking him through the text, that man said, you know what? I believe we do have to keep the law. All praises to the Most High. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, it's not our job to separate the wheat from the tares. That's not our job. The Most High said, I got the angels to do that. It's not our job to make our enemies our footstool. The Father said, I'll do that. Our job is to represent him, to represent his character. And so I'm shouting out brothers that I see moving in the Ruach HaKodesh. Shout out to you, SOT. Shout out to you, BOW. If you get this video, man, much love from your brother, man. I know at times we talk and stuff, and you may see my name, Yehukanan, and you guys we have had conversations in the past. This is me. This is who I am. I love brothers that's moving in the right vein, the right spirit. And I ain't to say that I don't love brothers who ain't, but a lot of us, man, when you talk about Israel, man, we hard-headed, man. We still stubborn and stiff-necked. And so when I see brothers that get it, it does my heart good, and I gotta shout them out. So shout out to y'all, brothers, man. Shout out to y'all. All praise to the Most High. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Because the title is, my service has already been paid for. My service has already been bought and paid for. What do I mean by that? What you talking about, Yehukanan? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Let me set up a few things. Because this is one of them topics, man, I hate talking, because, again, as much as I love my family, man, we hard-headed. As much as I love Israel, man, we hard-headed. But like Jeremiah said, man, I would want to shut up, but I can't, because it's like fire that shut up in my bones. I can't shut up. So I'm compelled by the Most High in order to continue to bring the content that I gotta bring to warn my people. My son off to take care of his business. Hey, my replacement is gonna be off the hook. I love my son. My replacement, he's gonna be a better man. He's already a better man than me. My replacement gonna be off the hook, man. That the spirit which that young man has, and you know, it's so beautiful to have a great mother. I won't get into all that. That's a whole another personal thing. Matter of fact, I'm really going to sneak my wife on here one time. We're going to do I already got the title of it, but I want my wife to talk about it with me, and we're going to have fun with that. But with that being said, man, let me see. Let me get into this. I'm going to share my screen. My brother getting on my case in the background. Brother, I don't be wanting. I know you was gonna get the alert, my brother. I know you was gonna get the alert. So you with your wife, you with your queen. We talk all the time, man. So, I figured you would catch the replay when you catch it. But with that being said, let me get into these scripts. Let me share my screen. Share my screen. Let's go here. Let me set up a little groundwork first. Why am I dealing with this matter? Let's look at what the book says. Because I can't get away with it. There's a lot of people that speak, but they ain't got the call that I got. Because honestly, I want to shut up about matters. I want to listen. This is what I really want to do. I really want to just be quiet. I really want to play the back. I want to love my family. I want to take care of my family. I want to kick it with my brothers who got like my brother. Listen, my Moray don't even like being out here like this. But somebody got to be a watchman. Somebody got to be a light. And so there's a compelling that we can't get away from. So we speak on certain things and we speak on certain matters because somebody got to be in the position that the Most High is using to tell the truth or to speak truth to an issue. And so this is what I'm doing. So as it says, let's go to Ezekiel. I almost say Ezra. That's Bible study. Second Ezra to be exact. But let's go to Ezekiel 3:16. Let's start there. It says, and it came to pass at the end of 7 days that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman. A watchman So while people get to sleep or just go as business as usual, reason why some of us can't shut up like we want to is we were made to be a watchman. I ain't saying that because that's Ezekiel's call. I know that's the call of my life, and I can't get away from it. As bad as I want to be like, yo, now hard headed, I'm good, man. I'm leaving them alone. I want to leave them alone. They don't want to hear me. Like you know how Jonah, man. Jonah was like, yo, you either they gonna listen to you and you're gonna repent. I mean, how you looking goofy in these streets because I'm telling them your wrath and your judgment is coming. But the moment they repent, you're gonna forgive them anyway. But because he's a watchman, the Most High didn't allow his life to go on his business as usual until he stepped up to the call. So I'm saying that to say this. Some of us are just watchmen. He says, I'm a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Listen, your boy want to shut up. This is what the Father said. Yo, I made you a watchman to my house. A lot of people that don't claim Israel, don't know the Israel, so it'd be like, man, you know, they don't even consider. We just fine with being black or after two continents or whatever political, social construct they call us. But, and I'm not saying all so-called, matter of fact, they call us black to muddy the waters because you'll see people who are not Israel in other countries, they don't even go by black. They don't go by Negro. They go by what country they know they from. I had an African friend, his name was Mookie, back in college, 1993. He said, yo, why you call yourself African American? I said, because we come from Africa and we live in America. He said, nah, you're just American. You're not African. So the Africans don't even be claiming us like that. And when you really study the history and the people that were targeted in the transatlantic slave trade, they wasn't looking for so-called just regular Africans or any Africans. They know who they was looking for. It's a whole nother teaching, a whole nother lesson. But because we don't know who we are, we settle for being the color of two continents. What happens is, when he says, I may be a watchman unto the house of Israel, we be talking about Israel, but Israel be rejecting it. Isaiah 1, I think it's 1 and 3 said, my people won't even consider it. We settle for religion, and the Father has given us identity and a government under him, but we don't want it. That's a whole nother talk. But he says, therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely unalive, die is what the word says. When thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn him the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So I get punished if I don't come out, as much as I know many will reject. Many, because if they did it to the king and he came healing the sick and raising the dead and everything else, I know I don't stand much of a chance, but it's because I'm called to this. I got no choice but to speak up. Verse 19, he said, yet if thou warn the wicked and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. So I'm delivering my soul right now. I'm delivering my soul right now because as a watchman, as much as I want to be quiet and shut my mouth, I can't do it. I can't do it. And so when we talk about this whole Divine Nine thing and what it means and get all into this, listen, I'm going to say this. You know you're in a cult, or it's cult connected. Yeah, I said cult, and I'm connecting Divine Nine with the cult. Y'all get mad at me if y'all want. I don't care. I ain't scared of none of y'all. But you know it's a cult when one, you can renounce and denounce, and all of them start speaking to you. Shout out to the 7 that still do speak to me. And I mean literally it's 7 of them. 7 of them. The rest of them that used to know me, that talk with me and all that, they don't talk to me no more. I'm not your boy no more. No, we went to school. We was cool even before I got the letters. But when a lot of y'all found out that I don't associate with the organization that I was connected to anymore, a lot of y'all start almost 99% of y'all start talking with me. The ones that made me, the ones that I helped make, the ones that I used to step with, trade wood with, all of this stuff. A lot of y'all start talking with your boy. And I get it, because it's a call. Because if 3 letters determine how cool I am to you, then we was never cool in the first place. We was never family in the first place. But we talking unity. I mean, man, I remember doing unity steps with a lot of y'all. We was doing unity steps. But where's the unity if all of a sudden I choose not to associate with the letters that I worked for? Because I did work for them. And those that want to question my pedigree, my history with that, those that know already know. So I'm not one of these that's speaking like that got my feelings hurt by the organization or didn't. Y'all know, especially if y'all come across this on Facebook, y'all know. And those that roll with me know, those that made me know, those that traded wood with me know, everybody knows. That's why when I renounce, that's why all of y'all stop talking to me. But it's not a cult. It's not a cult. Everybody's welcome. It's real true brother and sisterhood. I've done nothing but just said I don't want to be associated with 3 letters. But yet, because I don't, none of y'all talk to me. But we supposed to be in unity and brotherhood and at you. Stuff that divide us. So then the question is, if it's the 3 letters that determine our unity and our connection, then I gotta ask you, what spirit are you of if I don't choose to associate with the 3 letters or associate myself with these 3 letters? Now all of a sudden you disregard me, or I'm alienated from you. We're no longer friends. We're no longer brothers and sisters. That has to be a cult, or that has to be the identity of a cult. But like I said, shout out to 7 of you. 7 of you. That even though I don't associate myself with the organization that you still want to associate with, you still regard me as a friend and a brother. I appreciate that. And they know where I stand with it. They know. Listen, I'm not saying this is one who didn't go through as what they was called made right. I was the rock of my line. And you would think that if somebody who went through as much as I went through to get those letters, when you talk about the beat down, the hazing, the stomping, just because I was the rock, all the heat that I took, you would think that if he's walking away from it, there gotta be something about what that man is saying. Because we used to be in sets and we were asked, where's Alpha at? It's in the heart, big brother. It's in the heart. It was supposed to be in our heart. So for me to walk away from something that was in my heart, that I worked and went through so much to be a part of, for me to walk away from it, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. That should raise some questions, not only to those that are in it, but to those who aspire to be in it. Because again, I'm not talking as one who don't know what he's talking about. Those that know, know. Those that know. But yet those 3 letters determine my connection to you. So if I don't connect with those 3 letters, you disassociate with me because of the 3 letters. Then were we truly brothers and sisters? Were we truly family? You got to ask yourself that, because a lot of y'all claim to be lovers of Christ. A lot of y'all claim to be lovers of the Most High, but yet you'll alienate me because I choose not to go by the 3 letters. And I'm just using me for an example, but I mean anybody. But I can only speak from my experience. I'm sure there's a lot of people that got the same testimony as me, that the moment they denounce, a lot of y'all left them alone. But I can only talk from my standpoint. So I'm going to talk from my standpoint. So the question is, why would your man who went through so much all of a sudden walk away from this thing? I'm glad you asked. Let me go. Let the Bible talk. Let's let the Bible talk. Let me go to Exodus 23. Let's start at verse 32. Exodus 23, verse 32. Oh, what's that? What in the world? That. Let me go there. Yeah. Let's see. Exodus 23, verse 32. And it says, we start, let me go verse 32, 33. Thou shalt make no covenant, no agreement with them, nor with their gods. We'll read that again. Thou shalt make no covenant or no agreements with them or with their gods. Now, this verse in context is talking about the Canaanites, but even still, when you go back to the original commandments, the Father said in Exodus 20, you shall have no other gods before me. You shall have no other gods before me. And so even when you talk about how these things are connected to other cultures that are not of the Most High, we're connecting ourselves based on these organizations and the symbolisms behind them to other gods. Now, you can say that wasn't my process all you want. And I'm just be real. A lot of that wasn't my process either. My process was different. My process was just rugged. But when they say we rode infamously, we rode infamously. But I understand what was brought to my attention when you look at the death march and stuff that I pledged myself to. Now that I'm older, I understand. It said, thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in the land, lest they make thee sin against me. And if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto us. It will be a trap. It will be a hindrance unto us. We're being led and misguided, all for some Greek letters. I get it. God knows my heart. In my heart, I'm not playing. That was my mindset when I was online. Listen. My mindset when I was going through was, hey, as long as they don't make me denounce Christ, and as long as they don't make me do some homosexual stuff, I'll go through the junk. That was my mindset. And so I was leery about what it was that I was supposed to, or what I thought I was paying attention to or catching. It wasn't direct. But when you say poems like Invictus, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be, ain't no other gods but the Most High. But I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Man, the days of my life, the Most High are the ones that number them. Who am I? My very next breath could be taken from me. Who am I to say how long I'm the captain of my fate? I'm the master of my soul. But these were the things that we was chanting and quoting constantly, over and over again, quoting founders and different things. This is what we were doing. All in the name of service. Because if I work hard to get in, then I work hard for the organization. Not that the organization has done something for me. I'm giving myself, my body, my mind, my time to this organization. But that was my heart. That was my mind. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I didn't think that they were, even though it was laced with a lot of comedic thought, a lot of comedic things, and I'm just talking about Alpha. I ain't talking about nobody else's organization. I only know about Alpha. Everybody else that's in the organizations that you're in, you know. If you research, you know the connections you have to other deities, other mythology, other lore, other ideology that don't come up in the scripture. But this is what we're talking about. And I'm pledging myself under the guise of this, whether it was Sphinxman, whether it was Anubis, whatever, Ra, whatever it was, I'm pledging myself to the idea of Alpha and the deities or the spirits or the ideas connected to Alpha that are not in the Bible. Because I had sincere intentions. because I had a good heart. My heart was, I just wanted to be a part of an organization to serve, to help people. That was my mindset. I just wanted to do good deeds. Hopeless people is a hopeless people. I mean, shoot, we were doing little shows for little kids and everything. This is what we were doing. Giving away food, all that stuff. We were doing stuff like that. Events on the yard, try to bring unity together, stuff on the yard. We did a lot of other stuff too, a lot of bad stuff. But that was just my own. I would have did that whether I was in the organization or not. I was just foolish like that. But I'm just talking about we did this under the disguise of service. I give my life to this thing. Service. But the word says don't make no covenant. And what I was doing when I did my death march, when my shield, that was the fruit of Alpha and all that stuff that's on it, when I broke it back, it turned into my tombstone. I didn't know it. That it was a life commitment, that it was a commitment unto death. That I'm saying I would give my life for this. And the Most High is like, yo, I called you to no such thing. I called you to do no such thing. I commanded you to do no such thing. He said, thou shalt not make no covenant with them, nor their gods. This was a covenant. It was a covenant so strong that if we thought that a brother would move deceptively, we would be like, yo, on the shield, did you do this? On the shield, did you say that? Why? Because if you can lie on the shield, then, no, you ain't a real brother. That's how sacred we took it. Now, you can't lie on the shield. You can't lie on the shield. You can't say this against the shield. Did you do this? Did you say this? This is how you was moving on the shield, right? On your tombstone, right? This is what we're talking about. So we can't say that it was not a covenant because we understand when you look at the symbols and everything that comes with all that stuff that's on the shield, the fruit of the fraternity and all that other stuff, you cannot tell me that's not a covenant, brothers. To the point, we had a handshake, right? We had several handshakes, brothers. Did we not? Yes, we did. Handshakes so secretive that only we knew them. Handshakes so secretive that in order to even test another brother, we had to go through how you test a brother to find out if that brother was really, if somebody was really down, if they was really a brother. We come up and ask random questions based on information that we knew, that only those who pledged knew. It was a covenant. But the word right here says, thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. I'm going somewhere. Because people will say, God know my heart. And you know what? He do. He said, your heart is desperately wicked. And only he would know it. We don't even know how wicked we are. We don't know how off we are. And so it's the intent of the Father to guide us back into his will. And some of this is, we got to get out of these covenants that we make. Let me go to Proverbs 14 and 12. Proverbs 14 and 12. I'm setting this up. I'm going to go right to it. I didn't even get to the main verse yet. The main verse. I'm just setting up the background, the groundwork. Proverbs 14 and 12. Proverbs 14 and 12. And it says, for the you know my heart club. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are ways, not a way, but ways of death. Did I say that we did a death march? We did a death march. At the time, I was so ready to be done and crossed, I didn't even understand what I was doing when I was doing it. You know, because I'm young, impressionable. I'm going to get into that. But we did a death march. We did a death march. We pledged our life to this. We made a covenant with death. He said, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are ways of destruction. Are you judging? I'm not judging anybody. My job is to warn. That's why I led with Ezekiel 3:16-19. I'm a watchman. My job is just to warn. Once I tell you and you see this, it's up to you. My soul, my conscience is clear. This will be a matter unless somebody prompts me. I won't speak on it ever again. You will not catch me doing lives and videos about it ever again. I believe, unless the Most High say so, this will be the only time that I ever have to do a video about it. Because I'm telling you right now, as one who went hard about this thing, those that know, I went hard about this thing. He says, there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but in the end thereof are ways of destruction, of ways of death. You couldn't tell me we were doing wrong. You couldn't tell me I was in something that was of a cult. You couldn't tell me what I was doing was demonic, under another spirit. You couldn't tell me that. Even my spiritual mother would come to me every now and then. She would tell me, son, you got to deal with this. You got to denounce this. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it until one of my line brothers was actually breaking it down to me, what we did. And when he said what he said, that even made more sense as to why my mom would say what she would say, because I didn't understand it. Because you couldn't tell me I was doing anything that was demonic or anything that was connected to any foul spirit, because I didn't recall that online. I didn't recall what I actually did when I took these oaths. I was calling myself, I just wanted to get with some good brothers and serve, do some good in the community, be a positive influence. That was the goal. But it said right here, there's a way that seemeth right, but in the end thereof, the ways of death. But when I understood, and it was actually a brother that I was online with, and I'm going to keep his name close because I don't want nobody coming at him. If he want to make it public, he can make it public. But that brother know, if he come across this, that brother know who. Because we talk all the time. We talk all the time. To this day, we talk all the time. That's my man. But he said some stuff to me that made me think. Because a lot of times people talk, and I'm like, unless you've been through it, you don't really know what you're talking about. But when he said something, what he said to me, it made sense for my mother. As much as I love her, I couldn't understand why she would say what she would say until he broke it down what we actually did. Well, now I went back and I started looking at the information. Well, now I went back and I started looking at the oath. And I'm like, oh, snap. There's a way that seemed right to me. It seemed right to me. So because I did it publicly, I was at the Pro Show. The greetings for my big brothers that we did during the Pro Show, 90% of those, I wrote them. I wrote them. The one where he preached, I was actually a preacher at the Pro Show. I wrote that. That was me. And I say I was in this, I was in this. And my heart was in it. It seemed right to me. But in the end, let me give you one more verse from Proverbs. Proverbs 16 and 2. Proverbs 16 and 2. I still ain't got to the main verse. I'm just setting it up. It says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Most High way of the Spirit. Couldn't tell me. I was in a cult. You couldn't tell me what I did was demonic. You couldn't tell me what I did was spiritually off. You couldn't tell me. I'm just talking about me. If it convict you, to God be the glory, to the Most High be the glory. I'm not here to speak condemnation on anybody. I'm here to make you think. Because those that know, even if you're outside the organization, my first sip, because I was a rock in my line, let's go do 10 for 10. Me and the Rock at the Kappa line had to do 10 for 10. Everybody else had to trade 3 for 3. But the Rocks had to go 10 for 10. It was like my first sip. I had to prove myself. Those that know what the sip is, they know what the sip is. And I was at all of them. A few of them I started. We traded. So everybody know when I'm not speaking as one who, you can't say he was paper. You can't say I was paper. You can't say, well, he went glad he owned. No, I went through. I went through. My sands was hot. It was burning. Literally. Hot. But it says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes. But the Most High way of the spirits. So people are of the mindset that only God can judge me. And you're absolutely right. But he sends people, prophets, read Jeremiah, all 52 chapters of it. Judgment. Every time that warnings. Anytime that a prophet came to town, it was a warning about the judgment to come. You really want to know who a true prophet is? A true prophet is going to give you instruction back to the Most High. That's all I'm doing. And I know they don't want to listen, because I ain't talking about what you want to talk about, and I ain't talking about stuff that you want to edify and glorify. I ain't talking about anything that's going to make you feel good right now. I'm talking about something that, listen, the Most High ain't pleased with this. And I get it. A lot of y'all went through to get y'all letters. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I know what you went through. I know. Trust me, I know. I know. And probably in my case, I probably went through more than a lot of you. Trust me, I know. But it said, my ways appear clean to me. Appear clean to me. That's the mindset that we have. So when you talk about this thing about organization, I speak to mine. A lot of times, organizations, especially in the early 1900s, where there was still heavy racism and everything else that was going on, discrimination was high, carpetbagging and all that stuff that was going on. The fraternities were founded on those principles of service. It was founded on principles of service. When you speak to Alpha was the first one. It wasn't, I don't know about that Sigma Phi Pi. That's a whole different, that's the older men's fraternity. I don't know if they go through the stuff that we went through underground. But when you undergrad, Alpha was the first undergrad fraternity. And being the first undergrad fraternity, the reason why Alpha was founded, this was the reason. Because of the struggles in society. That society offered little opportunity for us at that time, offered little opportunity for us at that time, and no remedy. So the reason why this fraternity was supposedly founded was based on our struggle, as so-called Black people. And so because of the struggles of us as so-called Black people, that was the quote-unquote the basis of why the fraternity is founded. So it's a noble cause. It sounds like it's a noble cause. It sounds like it's a good thing. Why do you got a problem with that? Why do you got a problem with that? You Hukana, aka Puffy. That was my line name, Puffy. I wasn't even exactly puffy then, but I picked up weight. I used to be really muscular. Picked up some weight. My dean called me Puffy from the first time I showed up to a set, and it stuck with me to this day. But why do you say that, Puff? Because people still call me Puff. People still know me as Puff. Why do you say that? It was founded on service, and it's supposed to be a good thing. But the word says, again, there's a way that seems right to me, but in the end, it ends in destruction. Why do I have to make a covenant with something or a covenant somewhere else that goes against the will of the Most High because there's struggle? But this is why the fraternity is founded. And I'm going to go ahead and get into this verse. Why? And I'm going to get into this verse. Because if it was founded on struggle, and it was based on the struggle of so-called Black people, let's say so-called Black people because we're not quote unquote black people. That's a political construct. Let me take you to I think it's Ecclesiastes 1. Ecclesiastes 1, 9 through 11. 9 to 11. Mind you, the fraternity that I was a part of, I can't speak for the Qs, I can't speak for the Iotas, I can't speak for the Kappas, the Sigmas, I can't speak for the AKAs, I can't speak for the Deltas, I can't speak for the Sigma Gamma Rhos, I can't speak for the Zetas. I can't speak for the other 8 of the 9. I can't speak for that. But this is what the word says, because we were all founded during times of struggle. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that has been, it is what it shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So in other words, this was started in the early 1900s. But you're reading Yuchanan, aka Sean, aka Puff, whatever you want to connect me as, I'll be all things to you right now. I'm Yuchanan to the Israelites, I'm Sean to those that know me by my government name, I'll be Puff to those that know me by the frat name. It says right here, the thing that has been, it is that shall be, which shall be. And that which is done, which shall be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. But this was started in the 1900s. What are you talking about, brother? You bugging. You're right, I'm bugging. But I'm going to bring it home in a sec. Ecclesiastes 10, 1 and 10. There is anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new. It hath been already of old time, and which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall they be any remembrance of the things that are to come, with those that shall come after. So in other words, we recycling reason. We recycling situations. We're recycling the same thing. But this supposedly started in 1900. Nah. Let me take you to the book. Let me take you to the main text. Now that we kind of set that up. Remember, there's not new under the sun. The reason why Alpha was founded, and I'm assuming that the other ones that came after Alpha were connected to the struggle somehow, or dealing with struggle somehow too. But the reason why Alpha Phi Alpha was founded was because of struggle in the community. And they wanted to remedy those problems. They wanted to present options. They wanted to present answers. And so some young men, young impressionable men, got together and founded an organization. And the thing that's different from the so-called social clubs that are supposed white people and the black organizations is the black organizations are incorporated. They're businesses. I don't know if they were always businesses, but they turned around and they turned into businesses. So now when you talk about Alpha is founded during a time where there was struggle, where conditions were depraved, where people were needing help, where people were needing solutions, things of that nature. That sounds like that's a noble thing, doesn't it? I'm glad that you brought that up. Let me go to 2 Maccabees chapter 4. Just share my screen. 2 Maccabees chapter 4. Because what you see right here is a period of time where the ancestors were in trouble, where the ancestors were in struggle, where the ancestors were being persecuted, where the ancestors were being mistreated, where the ancestors were being lynched, where the ancestors were being discriminated against, where the ancestors were being unalived. So what is the solution, or what is the solution they decided to come up with? I'm glad you all asked. Let's talk about it. Let the book speak. Look at Maccabees chapter 4. I think I'm in chapter 4. Yep, Second Maccabees, chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 1 because I got to set all of this up and we get to the main verses. Second Maccabees. This Simon, now of whom we spake afore, having been a betrayer of money and of his country, slandered Onias. Somebody sold another brother out, as if he had terrified Heliodorus, whatever that name is, and been the worker of these evils. Thus he said, behold, thus was he bold to call him a traitor, and had deserved well of the city, and tendered his own nation, sold out his own nation. That's what I mean. He tendered his own nation and was so zealous of the law. So he was accusing somebody of being a traitor and selling out his whole nation, selling out his people. But when their hatred went so far that the one of Simon's faction was murdered, murders were committed, Onias, seeing the danger of the contention, and Apollonius, as being the governor of the Syria, and Phineas, did rage and increase Simon's malice. So people jumped into the situation. Added to, he went to the king, not to be an accuser of his countrymen, but seeking the goodwill of all, both public and private. That's what Ananias did. For he saw that it was possible that the state should continue quiet and Simon leave his folly, unless the king did look thereunto. But after the death of Seleucus, and Antiochus, called Epiphanes, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand, sold him out, labored underhand to be the high priest. In other words, he wanted position. Promising unto the king by intercession 360 303 score talents of silver. So he promised the Grecian government, that's who Antiochus is, 360 talents of silver and another revenue of 80 talents. 80 talents. More revenue. Besides this, so in other words, he promised him mad loot, selling out. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set up a place for exercise or stadiums to watch games, a place of exercise for the training of youth. Many of us will go undergrad. We don't have an idea of the world. We just want to do some good in the community. But it's the training up of youth. We don't know what we're doing or getting ourselves into. And I would even say that the brothers that help make you, or the sisters that help make you, they don't know what they're into. We all undergrad. We have no idea about the world, the history, and everything else. Only thing we know is we just want to do some good. But it says, for the training up of youth, for the fashions of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus. In other words, instead of going by who you are, Israelites or Yahudim, you're going to call yourselves Antiochans, or you're going to call yourself somebody who is of a Greek nation. Because Antiochus was a king of Greece. So you will now be known as Antiochians. I'll read that verse again. I'll read it again. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license, support, business, license to set him up a place of exercise for the training up of youth in the fashion of the heathen. Now, who were the fashion of the heathen? The people who were ruling you. Who were the people that were ruling us at this time? Greeks. Grecian culture. Hellenistic culture. Didn't we have Panhellenic culture? Panhellenic meetings at school? Yes, we did. Then I was a president at one point of the Panhellenic Council. Or at least I was on the board. I know I was on the board. This is what we're talking about here. And who were they targeting? Young people. In the fashions of the heathen. To write them of Jerusalem. So you, as so-called black people, aka the true Israelites, instead of being Yahudim or Yahuda, you are going to be called Antiochians or Grecians. Nothing new under the sun, family. What has been done, it's already been done. This ain't nothing new. We are always aligning ourselves or identifying ourselves with those who have oppressed. We have made covenants and agreements with other cultures. This is nothing new under the sun. I ain't making this up. This is what the book said. Verse 10, which when the king had granted and he had gotten into his hand the rule of the forthwith, brought his own nation to Greekish fashions. Read that one again. Which when the king had granted, he had gotten into his hand he had gotten into his hand the rule he forthwith brought to his own nation, Greekish fashion. Who is he? Who's the dude? What's the dude's name? Jason, the brother of owner. In other words, he sold his people out and we adopted Greekish fashion, Greekish ways. Listen, because we were persecuted and have gone through so much, what did our founders do? Well, they wouldn't let us join their organization. They wouldn't let us join their groups. Fine, we'll just copy and imitate them and start our own. A man's ways, they do seem right in his own eyes, but the Father's the one that notices and judges the spirit. This dude Jason comes up and he founds us as Antiochians or Grecians. So now we're learning Grecian ways, Grecian culture, Grecian fashions. Verse 11. And the royal privileges granted a special favor to the Yahudim by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for amity and aid. He took away and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law. Against whose law? I'm glad y'all asked. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. And it's crazy because when you go to the interest meeting, they select what we believe is, and this is all organized, this ain't just Alpha, and this ain't AKA, just AKAs, and every Greek organization that is part of the Divine Nine select who they think is the cream of the crop on the yard. If they think you a buster or whatever, they're not picking you up. I don't care how much interest you show, they're not picking you up. They want to pick up solid brothers and sisters, as we will say, that will represent the organization the correct way. What we perceive to be cream of the crops, what we perceive to be leaders on the yard, this is what we would do. For we built, I'm gonna read that again. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat, or made them identify themselves, a uniform, something that would identify them. Verse 13. Now such was the height of Greek fashions, an increase of heathenish behavior through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, no high priest, that the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple, neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus called them forth. Last verse. No, not last verse. Not setting by the honor of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So the high priests, you got your pastors, your preachers, your prophets, your apostles that won't step out because they ain't true watchmen and say, yo, I get y'all love these organizations, but we shouldn't be doing this. And it's amazing because just like then, we adopt Greek customs and fashions, we're doing it today. We're doing it today. Can't make this up, family. The word said there's nothing new under the sun. And the reason why we were doing it is because we were sorely being persecuted. Said that the priests had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple. How did they despise the temple? Instead of standing for the truth and facing the persecution, facing what they would have to go through because they were being tortured and everything else, skinned alive, dipped in oil, forced to do it because the struggle was real. They were being lynched then. Guess what was going on in the early 1900s? They're being lynched now. It said that the high priest, the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar. So we got away from telling the truth. We got away from standing for who we truly are. But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance. So we hasten to be partakers of Grecian lifestyle, Grecian culture. We rather identify as Greeks than identify as Yahudim. So now if I go to a brother and sister that got Nelia on, and I say, yo, you Israel? They're gonna be like, get away from me. Why? Because we've been conditioned to adopt. That's what's happened to us every captivity. Only a remnant would come out. When they went into Babylon and was released by the Medes and Persians, guess what? Only a remnant came out. When Greece and Rome took over, guess what? Only a remnant survived. Guess what? We were brought over here, not as immigrants, but as slaves. Guess what? Only a remnant is going to be willing to come from among the heathenistic ways and practices, because we built up such a life here. And I can tell by the way y'all cape for this country, y'all fret over everything that Trump is doing. Forget what he's doing. Let's look at what we're not doing and start doing it. Let's return to our God, our ways, our customs, our practice. It ain't religion, family. We a nation. I digress. Well, verse 15, it says, not setting by the honor of their fathers. In other words, we ain't standing for what our fathers did. We always talk about the ancestors, the forefathers. Well, our fathers is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we ain't standing for their honor, but we liking the glory of the Grecians. We'd rather just adopt Grecian customs. But our father Abraham, when you go back and research him and read about him, our father Abraham was a fighter. He didn't have to conform to Canaanite ways in order for him to go and be a Mashiach to Lot. He went and got his nephew out of a bad situation and killed and unalived kings to do it. Our forefather David, he had to conform to Philistine culture. He had to conform to Philistine ways. Guess what? That dude went waxed them dudes. Did it. So when we talk about we're not setting the honor of our fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all, we'd rather sell out. And I was guilty. I didn't know no better. Why? Because it really says right here, targeting the chief young man in verse 12. It says in verse 9, you're targeting the youth. Think about it. People would go to schools, we did little shows, little things. You got like the little alpha men things for the kids. You got little things like my sister got her son tied up. My sister Alabama got her son tied up with the campus. And I'm like, dang, you ain't paying attention to what anything your brother's doing. Like, if I renounce that, why are you trying to get my nephew in that? Follow me on this, sis. I'm like, dang. I'm tripping on that one. And she's like, well, you just saying that because it's Kappa. I'm like, no, you missed it. Like, how you saying that? How you saying that? Have you not heard me talk about this? Why would I walk away from it? Because of stuff like this. We targeting the youth. We go to the elementary schools. Got the Alpha Man shirts of tomorrow and all this other stuff, the Deltas of tomorrow, all this little Delteen stuff and all this other stuff. We giving away stuff for the young ladies, the young boys. We recruiting already. You're doing it. Still doing it. The Q Doll shows be so funny. The kids get a kick out of the Q's, the little barking and the step, the way the Q step. It is very funny the way they step because they there's just big hops and all kinds of stuff. But the Q's, they look like they fun, and then they throw it up and they bark and all that other stuff, and they just look exciting. That's recruiting. Who are we targeting? The youth. That's verse 9 right here. Verse 12 says, the chief young men, those that show promise, those that's willing to be leaders. That's the ones that we want, liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. It said, not setting the honor of our fathers. Listen. All so we can serve. And you know what's crazy? The Father delivered us from Egypt. So we can do what? Serve him. That's why he said what he said in Exodus. Don't make no covenants. But what do? We get hot. We get chastised because we left our Father. We left our God, our Father. And he chastised us. And what do? Instead of coming back to our Father and repenting, we'll just conform to our enemies. We'll conform to their custom, the cultures, their practices. We'll eat what they eat. We'll celebrate their holidays and everything else. This is what we do. Liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. You cannot tell anybody who got their letters. It's taken after God to get them to walk away. Trust me, I know. I was one of you. I understand. Believe me, I understand. I understand. I really do understand. Verse 16. By reason, this is why we do it. We like the glory of the Grecians best of all. Why? Verse 16. By reason thereof, sore calamity came upon them. Calamity came upon us because of who we were. For they had themselves to be their enemies and avengers, whose customs they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things. Sore calamity came upon us, so we had conformed to our enemies, adopted their customs, their culture, their practice, because of the calamity that came upon us. And we call ourselves trying to get back at them that way. Remember, the road to destruction is paved with sincere intention. We just read that. That's Proverbs 14 and 12. We read and always seem right to us. That's Proverbs 16 and 2. And I'm telling you right now, according to Ecclesiastes 1, 9 through 12, there's nothing new under the sun. Just like we conform to Grecian culture and customs and practices then, that's what we're doing now. Why? Because we were being tormented. We were suffering. We were struggling. And the best way we knew how, according to what we thought was right in our own eyes, instead of understanding that that book has a government for us, not religion, a government for us. We conformed to them. We became like them in order to somehow use their methods, their tools of Greek organizations to get back at them for how they treated us. So I give my life to 3 Greek letters, and I dishonor the sacrifice of my brother. To undo the wrong that I and my people have suffered, I give my life to letters that are connected to other deities, that are connected to other cultures. When he gave me a culture, he gave me a government, but because I don't know who I am, I identify myself as them. Let's go to Romans 6, 19. Go to Romans 6 and 19. I'm almost done now. Romans 6, verse 19. Here's what it said. Here's what it said. I speak, this is Romans 6 and 19. I speak after the manner of men, because of the infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity, and unto iniquity, unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness and unto holiness. The way that the Father has given us is Kodesh, or is holy. It benefits not only us as a people, it brings us back into alignment with our God, and ultimately the rest of the world will benefit and conform, because now our God will move on our behalf, and we will be the example that the Most High has called us to be as a nation, not as individuals. Because Christianity got us thinking this is an individual sport. But Christ said, let he who was first among you must first do what? Serve. But we want to serve. The Father is saying this. Come on back to me. You ain't got to wear 3 letters to represent me. I ain't in that. And I told you to do no such thing. I told you don't make no covenants. I understand you lean into your own understanding, but my instructions, that's what Torah means. It means instructions. My instructions are in my Torah. If you want to know what I think about it, go to my Torah. Go to my instructions. That's why religion says that the law is done away with, because we think that the Most High gave us religion. He didn't give us religion. He gave us government. And by us coming back to our government under him, he's saying, even so now, yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness. There's a way that the Father wants to be served, not by what you think you should serve him, but how he wants us to serve him. Now, if you don't believe in the Most High, that's between you and the Most High. I just say either way, you gotta go, gotta repent. But for those that claim to believe in the Most High, that say you believe in the King, let me get to that in a second. You say you believe in Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, aka Jesus. You say you believe in him. He's saying, yield your members to servants. Yield your members servants of righteousness unto holiness. Now, you tell me, if you can look at your bylaws, you can look at all those symbols and stuff, and you can tell me that that is in the scriptures and it's righteous and holy, I defy any of you to show me. And if you definitely rocking black and gold, don't even waste your time. I already know. So I already know that excludes Alpha. I know Alpha personally. I know Alpha real personally. But, you know, maybe the Q's got something different. Maybe the Sigma's got something different. I'm calling all y'all out. I put all y'all in the spiritual cut. I'm putting everybody in the cut. Diodas, I'm calling you out. Kappas, I'm calling you out. I called enough of y'all out back in the day. We traded so much word with y'all. But anyway, I'm calling y'all out too. Swinging wood at all y'all. All. I'm just saying, if y'all can tell me, when you research your bylaws and your symbols, and everything that, you can find that in the book. Especially those that call yourselves preachers, minister of the word, chief men. Supposed to be repping Christ. But yet, you represent something that's not unto righteousness and holiness. The Most High don't need our help. There's not a way in the book that prescribes unto us how to serve him except the way he wants us to serve him. Listen. We did nothing to earn the right to serve him. He did that. He the one that established the covenant with our forefather Abraham. He's the one that gave us this charge. We did nothing to earn it. Unlike the letters that we did work to earn it, we didn't have to. Our service is already bought with a price. It was already paid for. I'm going to show you in the book. Let me show what the king did for us. Let me go to 1 Corinthians 6:18. I'm almost done. This is what it said. No, I want 18. I want 19. Yeah, 19. My fault. 6:19. What? Know ye that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own. In other words, even when the Egyptians paid the price for our enslavement in the past, the ancestors, the Father says you were bought with a price then. The firstborn of Egypt had to pay that price for keeping you away from serving, because he had already made the covenant with our forefather Abraham. And the Father was going to keep his word to the point he punished Egypt for not letting us go. And guess what we were doing in Egypt? We were adopting Egyptian customs, culture, and practice. Thanks, Smith. Come on, Spinksman. Don't mess with me. You already know. So what know ye not, that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which ye have of the Most High, which is not your own. So the Father goes to Pharaoh and he said, listen, you tell old Pharaoh to let me cross those sands. When the Father go to Pharaoh, he said, let my people go that they may what? Serve me. When Pharaoh said no, he said, your firstborn gonna pay the price. Because he said, Israel is my firstborn. That's Exodus 4:22. He said, Israel's my firstborn. Our role was to be the example to the rest of the world of what it looks like to be sons of the Most High, to serve the Most High. We were the firstborn, and he would not let the firstborn go. So because he didn't let the firstborn go, guess what? I'm going to judge him. Our lives were never our own. We were delivered to serve the Father. Why? Because that's what our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did. That's why the word constantly says the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why? Because after Jacob, the brothers were silly. We were a foolish nation. We're still a foolish nation. We're still a foolish people. And the condition of us as a people show. Why? Because every time we get away from our God, we get away from his instructions, we get away from his custom, his culture, his practices that he gave us. Guess what we do? We end up looking foolish. We end up looking goofy. We end up faltering. Let me say. We end up looking bad. Verse 19. This is why we don't belong to us. We don't belong to us ourselves. Verse 6 and 20. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, I'm going to say that again. I ain't going to move it. We were bought with the price. Our big brother, our king, Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus, he paid the price. That's why the word says in Romans 8:29 that he's the what? The firstborn of what? Many brethren. So in other words, I didn't have to go through all that to serve. My brother already did it. My king already did it. He said, for ye are brought with a price. Therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are whose? God. We belong to the Father. Christ presented us back to the Father. So because he presented us back to the Father, we belong to God. How do I belong to an organization with 3 letters of Grecian origin? And you know what's so bad? The word was forced to be translated into English. So now when people read the Alpha and Omega in the end, they say, well, you Alpha and Omega, that's stupid. That was forced to be put in there by people of who? Grecian culture, because they wanted to understand what the Hebrews were talking about. They wanted to know our word. So it had to be translated into Greek. Why? Because that was the dominant culture. And guess what we did? We had to conform. If we didn't conform, we were tremendously unalive, tortured beyond measure. When people make that argument, that's goofy. Because you don't know where we came from. We were forced to translate. All praise to the Most High that it is translated, because now in the English I have at least access to know that's us. And it says we are not our own. Our bodies are not our own. Our spirit is not our own. We are here to glorify our Father. When he delivered the ancestors from Egypt, that was so we could serve him. Christ came and paid the price to restore us back to him because we broke the covenant. But now those that are in Christ, they belong to the Most High. So you can't be in Christ and saying you are Alpha, a Q, a Kappa, a Sigma, an Iota, aka Delta, Theta, Sigma, Gamma, Rho. I'm calling all of it out. And I know y'all can delete me and block me, whatever y'all do, and y'all can continue not speaking to me. That's totally fine. I get it. I know this way that I go is not popular. I gotta tell you the truth, because I love you. I do love you. And your boy, you want to call me Puff, Sean, Yehukana, your boy here. I will leave the light on for you and keep the bread and water by you. Inbox me, whatever. Why did you say what you said? It's because I care. I'm a watchman for my people. We were deceived. The word says, we call us holy. The word says, come from among them and be ye separate. We cannot be separate and still do what they do and call ourselves being sanctified or separate from them. If they got Grecian culture, let them have it. You're Israelite family. You're a Kodesh people. You are a holy people. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. What does that look like? I'll be glad to take you back through in the book and show you what our brother Christ showed us. What your pastor is not telling you, because he's a Mason, or he's an Alpha, or he's a Kappa, or she's a Sigma Gamma Rho, whoever. And you can't tell me I don't know and I don't understand, because those that know what I went through with them, those that know, know. Those that know, know. I don't speak as one who didn't go through the smoke. And I'm going to say this. It'll be interesting in the day of judgment, because what if me and those who are taking this route to renounce are right? Because I promise you, if the scriptures are true, in the day of judgment, you're not going to be able to say, but God, I had sincere intentions. I only did what I understood. And you know what the Father going to say? Get in the cut. And I know me. Everybody that knows me, that has traded with me, has seen me in the cut, I've never broke the cut. They believe in budging, none of that. But that's one time I know when it comes to the wrath of the Father, I don't want to be in the position where I'm going to break the cut. So I just rather obey now, so I won't have to get in the cut. That being said, man, it's your boy Yukanan Ben Yah, aka LaShawn High, aka Puffy, whatever you want to call me. Say these things because I do love you. And my job as a watchman is to warn you. And so I believe that this is probably my only time really speaking on this matter. On the inbox when you can. I'll be glad to talk to you on the side, and it doesn't have to be a public argument or discussion. If you want to discuss anything that I said, I'll be glad to have the conversation with you. I love you. I do love you. I'm watching out for you. Your boy is actually getting you slack. For those that know what I'm talking about, I'm getting you slack. Because I'm getting you slack, I'm hoping that spirit of repentance will fall on somebody. This is the Pure Heart podcast via the Spaces of the Way. We love you. We pray that you meet the real Christ one day, and that he has a real transformative change in your life. For those who don't know Christ but want to know, please hit me up. Reach out to me. I'll be glad to have a discussion with you. That being said, love you. Shalom, shalom.